Thanks for clicking and dragging your way all the way to Daily Strength. We've all heard it said that it's really what's on the inside that counts. There's a lot of truth to that. In fact, I think we ought to talk about that. Our text today, 1 Thessalonians 5:23 through 24. Now, I have to admit, I'm a passionate fan of Oreo cookies. The mere thought of a tall, ice-cold glass of milk and a huge stack of Oreos is enough to induce some major hunger pangs. And I refuse to pay attention to the fine print on the back of the Oreo package that delineates the calories and the fat count. Whoever had that idea? When it comes to Oreos, I'm ready to throw all caution to the wind. Which reminds me of their ad campaign that addressed that classic Oreo-eating technique in which you pull the chocolate cookie halves apart to get to the creamy frosting in the center. Well, the ad gave this stern reproof to Oreo eaters everywhere. It was, don't fiddle with the middle. I'm sure the people at the Oreo factory would be pleased to know that their advice still sticks in my mind. But it's not about their cookies. Let me explain. All of us are aware that getting cleaned up for Jesus is an important thing. But most of the time, we think about cleaning up all the visible stuff, the stuff on the outside. We try to behave so that others will see that we are good Christians. It's important to us that people in our small groups know that we're having our devotions. We volunteer in church world. We make sure to put something in the offering plate as it goes by, and we have learned to say all the nice words and do all the right things at all the right times. Now, while I'm not out on any of that, I do have a problem if your Christianity is only about the externals. Jesus stung some of the best acting, spiritually spit-polished people of his day with the charge that they were like whitewashed gravestones. In Matthew 23:27, in essence, he said, you're all cleaned up on the outside, but you're carrying the stench of death within. And to Jews who believed that death and defilement were the same thing, this was a serious charge. It's scary to think that the better you get on the outside, the worse you might become on the inside. Behaving really well can easily make you proud of yourself. And we all know what God thinks about pride in our hearts. In 1 Peter 5:5, we read that he resists the proud. And in Proverbs 6:16 through 19, a proud look makes the list of the 7 things that are an abomination to him. Being really good can make a finger pointer out of you real fast. It's amazing how easy it is for us to carry attitudes in our hearts that stink while we carry our Bible into church. So, let's not forget that while man may applaud us for what's on the outside, God still looks at the heart. He knows all about that well-protected sin, that self-sufficient attitude, and those resentments that we're nursing. Like oranges that have been out of the fridge too long, you get no credit for looking good in the fruit bowl if there's something rotten on the inside. This is what I like about our text today. In Paul's prayer for the Thessalonians, he reminds us that it is God's plan to sanctify us through and through. In other words, God wants to fiddle with your middle. As Paul says in our text, authentic Christianity is about renewing our spirit and our soul and then our body from the inside out. Hey, it's not a facelift. It's a heart transplant. So don't fiddle with the middle may be good advice for Oreo eaters. But I have to tell you this, it's a terrible thing to say to God.